Pia and Karl-Heinz Neubauer can't escape the sight of the Gronde nuclear plant and its two cooling towers. They've lived next to the power station in Lower Saxony for some 20 years.
Okay.
Pia grew up in the region and can still remember the demonstrations when it was built at the end of the 1970s.
Here in the local paper, it says the Battle of Gronde. It was a huge demonstration, but the protesters weren't from around here. They came from across the country.
After 35 years of generating both electricity and controversy, the station will go offline forever on December 31st of this year. The remaining reactors will be shut down a year later. 10 years after the disaster in Fukushima, the exit from nuclear power is becoming a reality in Germany. But for the Neubauers, it won't happen overnight.
The decommissioning will take 10 years, so it will still be here for a while.
There will still be some consequences, some risks. The nuclear waste is there, so that's a danger. But look, we've learnt to live with the plant. It's become part of our daily lives.
All around Gronde, the energy U-turn has people asking all kinds of questions, especially as the reactor provided a lot of jobs and money to a region that now has to diversify its economy. The mayor of the commune of EMMERTHAL is banking on an industrial park to make up for the job losses.
Around 700 people work directly or indirectly for the power station. They're people with good salaries. They come shopping here, they buy things, so it's impossible to know what our losses will be.
It's a challenge here and for the whole country, because Europe's biggest economy is energy hungry. To make up for the loss of nuclear energy, the development of renewables has grown quickly this past decade. In 2020, green energy sources made up 50% of the German energy mix. But setting up wind farms and solar power plants often runs into local opposition, like here in the Brandenburg region.
Here you can see 200 hectares of parkland, which is equivalent to about 400 football pitches, and this is our land.
Juliane Uhlig moved to the village with her partner 10 years ago. She teaches horseback riding, an activity she says is threatened by the plan to generate solar power here.
Everything you see over there, right to the end of the meadow, will be covered in solar panels.
With the local government's approval, investors want to build one of the region's biggest solar power installations. A nightmare for Uhlig, even though she's in favor of the switch to green power.
The losses will be huge for us, and we currently have no idea how it will impact the animals.
Along with other villagers, she's organizing demonstrations to stop the project from moving forward. That conflict shows up the difficulty of the energy transition, but the mayor is convinced the project is the right one.
Future generations will suffer, so we definitely have to speed up the energy U-turn. And yes, I know it scares a lot of people, and some are fine with things as they are, and are asking why we have to do things differently.
Another challenge? Giving up nuclear is meant to go along with shutting down coal-fired power plants. Right now, Germany is the world's biggest brown coal producer. And here in the North Rhine-Westphalia region, extracting the highly polluting coal means 5 more villages may be swallowed up. David Dresen has fought for years against this mine, which threatens the region he grew up in.
Before, we had 36 villages here, as well as forests and churches. Everything's disappeared.
Like Dresen, protesters from across the country take turns to stop the impending destruction of 2 villages. Zacharias is a 22-year-old student.
I feel like it's my responsibility to be here, to stop the planet from getting completely destroyed.
Dresen is fighting for his principles, but also because his own village could be wiped off the map. His family has lived on this farm since 1862, a little homestead made of land he knows by heart, 3 horses, and memories that can never be replaced. His hope now is a new government in Berlin will change things.
I'll wait for the new government, with or without the Greens in it, to vote for a law that protects the villages. We'll never reach our climate goals if we don't abandon coal more quickly. And that means there's no reason to destroy these villages.
And the push to go green faster is coming from judges as well. The Constitutional Court has required that Chancellor Angela Merkel and her government move forward the shift to renewables. A draft bill is expected in June. Right now, the exit from brown coal is planned for 2038.